All right, let's play Find Your Debate segment. Oh, I mean, time now for Football Night in New York. I'm joined by Mark Malusis and Sal Licata. And guys, we know Darnold showed his toughness playing through the injury last week, but he's got the sprained AC joint in a throwing shoulder, so you need to be careful. Moose, do you need to sit Darnold no matter what on Sunday against the Cardinals?
Well, I want to see what the doctors have to say. I want to see exactly when the Jets hit the practice field on Wednesday, exactly if Sam Darnold is going to be a full go or is he going to be limited in practice. You want to know if there's going to be ramifications if he goes out there, or is it just dealing with pain tolerance? Could he suffer another injury that could be long lasting? I mean, there does come a point in time when you look at the way they handled Mekhi Becton, the Jets as an organization, they didn't protect the asset and had him as an emergency tackle, in the Thursday night affair against the Denver Broncos. Now the question is, you look at the asset of a franchise quarterback that you drafted third overall, you traded up to get him. I understand different regimes, Sal, but sometimes you got to protect the player from himself. So you got to see what the doctors are going to say about the shoulder, see exactly where that injury is, regardless of how he is feeling, and see if he can further damage it by pushing and playing.
Moose, we've been having these discussions for over 10 years now together, and anytime it comes up, I think we always say the same thing. If they are healthy enough, they need to play. I mean, this idea, I'm not looking to risk Sam Darnold's future by forcing him out there in a otherwise meaningless game, but this idea that he needs to sit no matter what to learn from Joe Flacco, and maybe it's better that he sits a game out, I'm not buying that. If he's hurt and he can't go and there's any risk of real damage, then he should sit out. If he is healthy and he's cleared, to your point, by the doctors, then he plays. He is not going to get any better sitting on the sideline just because the Jets are getting their rear end kicked every which way, every week. He's got to play. He's got to go out there if he is healthy enough and play. Again, I'm not risking injury. If the doctor says he can't go, or there's any questions whatsoever, you sit him out. If he's healthy and can go, he goes, and you hope that he learns and continues to get better here, because he hasn't in year 3.
But okay, Sal, here's the question, though. With a coach that is under the gun, are you convinced that his best interest will be looked at? Moose brought up the point about Mekhi Becton. Are you convinced that Darnold's health will be paramount in an in-game situation for the Jets on Sunday?
I agree with that. You don't want to let the player decide that. If the doctor says he's healthy, then fine. But I also don't trust Adam Gase to make the right decision. If you're asking me, do I trust Adam Gase? No. I mean, I don't think you could trust him, even if you just go back and base it on Thursday night, like you said, with Becton alone and then rushing Darnold back into the game. So, no, I don't trust Adam Gase. But that should not be the head coach's or the GM or the player's call. It should be the doctor's call first and foremost. Then they gather that information and make the decision based off of that.
Yeah, right. I mean, the way they handled Becton, it reeked of desperation. Now, you could look at it and say that, and severely question whether or not Joe Douglas, based on the fact that he has done nothing to support a quarterback going into his third year, whether or not Joe Douglas believes that Sam Darnold really is the franchise quarterback, because it's not like he went out there and added a ton of personnel to try and make him better or make this offense better, or even that much more dynamic. So, listen, I mean, the Jets as an organization, I think they embarrassed themselves the way that they handled Mekhi Becton in the Thursday night game against the Denver Broncos. You can't compound the problem here. Regardless of the regression that you've seen here from Sam Darnold, you can't compound the problem in here and roll him out against a team where his shoulder's not 100%. So it's really that's as simple as it gets. If he can play and the doctors clear him, yeah, then Sam Darnold should play. However, if there's any sort of hesitancy, if the doctors say, no, you cannot force Sam Darnold into the game, and he can't force his way into the lineup.
All right, Mark Malusis, Sal Licata, guys, thanks so much.